for it, man. It all depends on your skill. CFM Radio.
Yeah. CFM Radio. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday, my dudes and dudettes. It's time for your dose of video game music and news here on CFM Radio. What is up, Vector?
Video game music and news. Drix doing very well here. Happy Wild Gate release. I have not picked it up myself, but tomorrow, you better believe, I'm playing.
Oh, yes. And what a godsend. Our prayers are answered. It's a $30 game.
Woo!
Wild Gate. Anybody can just pick it up on the cheap, on the low. If you have, a Switch 2 and you're worried about $80 games, don't worry. You can come play some Wild Gate with us and everybody else.
Yeah, definitely a game that if you haven't checked it out yet, you definitely worth the slow buy-in of $30. Very robust extraction style shooter. Very, very fun game. If you have not tried, me and Drix have been covering it on CFM Radio since I think the first beta, or the first public one. So, very fun game, a fan favorite of ours, and if you have yet to check it out, you definitely should. It's worth your time.
Yeah, you want some sci-fi in your life.
Absolutely. But other than that, I have just been checking out a lot of Mario Kart. Got myself to a high elo on the Tour Online mode, and I've been chipping away at Rune Factory, Guardians of Ozma.
Yes.
Very cool game. Very, very deep game. Has a lot to it, but I don't know how much of it is very like in depth. Like everything is presented to you very in depth and in a very like robust way that you could do a lot with a little bit. But then like about like 2 hours later, it's like, hey, by the way, here's like a system to automate that. It's like, oh,
Yes, I know. I've been doing pirate stuff on the high seas as Goro Majima. Also, of course, playing my pinball at my local pub, and revisiting a little bit of Team Fortress 2, actually.
Beautiful.
Which is like, there's not as many bots. The bot problem is not as severe as it was, but it's the fun part is it's like playing a game with the entirety of like Reddit and 4chan at the same time.
Wow, yeah. Team Fortress 2, an absolute classic. Another one.
Reliable.
If you haven't tried it out, if you have, it's one of those games you get together like 2-3 friends and just fucking start joining servers, man. You cannot go wrong with some TF2.
Yeah, LAN party away. For me, at least, the original hero shooter.
Yeah, honestly, the original, even the original like pure hero shooter too, because we all remember the days before hats.
Yeah, man, good times. All your favorite Half-Life modded elements.
God, Jesus, you're not kidding.
And it runs on a potato.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's also you also have to remember that game was an original Xbox game, so that game runs on anything.
Yeah, pretty sweet. Orange boxing it up.
Speaking of things that are nostalgic, Drix, we're just gonna start off the cast strong because there's a Pokemon Presents. Pokemon's on the Poke, the man, and the
Yes.
Absolutely. And here's the thing with me. Pokemon, a lot of people said this Pokemon Presents was kind of like could have been an email sort of thing, but I thought it was pretty dense. It was pretty informative. Like, yeah, there's stuff in here about their TV shows, but they got to put the TV show stuff in there, right? There's stuff about their TV shows. There's stuff about the trading card game. Guys, I don't know if you've seen how popular this fucking trading card game is, but like people are like fighting each other at Costco over these things.
Yeah, anytime a new box shows up at any local store, it seems to just disappear, and hopefully without any kind of violence outside.
Yeah, seriously. Because, like, I don't know about you guys. Pokemon, we're going to get to a little bit, we're going to get to this anecdote a little bit later in the show, but Pokemon, people just, it's kind of reached this point where you got people who don't really even know what it is, and they're into it. Like, they don't know, they didn't grow up with the games.
Yeah.
They didn't, like, they don't have, like, really a favorite Pokemon. Their favorite Pokemon's, like, a meme or Pikachu. Like, it's like Mudkip or Pikachu or, like, Bidoof.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, man, that's like, or Ditto. It's like, yeah, man, that's my favorite. And it's like, what, really? What? And then it's like, okay. And then, like, these guys, they're, like, you know, they just collect their shit. They don't even realize half the time what it is. I keep telling people, anecdotally, it's like baseball cards. So Pokemon, I don't know if anybody else realizes, but it's like a huge, way bigger than anybody kind of gives it credit for. And
Yeah,
I think
even when we were kids, I remember hitting a point where it's like, I barely know what it is, but I gotta have it. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's doing it. Give me some of them cards.
Give me some of
I
them
don't even know how to
cards.
play the game.
I mean, shit, Ben, at least you and I had a Game Boy Color game.
Yeah, that's when I really learned the mechanics of the actual card game.
Like,
Is
Drix,
when
come
when I
on.
played the card game
You
on
know,
the Game Boy Color.
you're over here, like, these kids, they barely even interface with the card game. It doesn't even matter to them. Like,
Yeah, get him a touchscreen Pokemon card game for the Game Boy Color at least.
but going back to my original point, and the point pretty much of this Pokemon Presents, is that we here at CFM Radio, we firmly believe that the games are important. We want to focus on the games, right? But
Yes.
this Pokemon Presents was more about Pokemon as it exists in reality right now, right?
Yeah, this is more about Pokemon stop motion, it looks like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you've got the show. There was they were talking about the card game championships. That was also hand in hand with Pokemon Unite championships. Was also hand in hand with
Ooh.
Pokemon Go championships. Was also hand in hand with Pokemon video game battling championships. Later on in this, you're gonna see the first looks at Pokemon Champions, which is essentially just Pokemon Battle Simulator, like Pokemon Stadium for the new generation. And
Yeah, Pokemon Ranked Edition.
yeah, Pokemon Ranked. At least, you know. So, I think the main takeaway from Pokemon Presents, taking away the fanboyism. I'm just gonna say it out loud. Taking away the fanboyism and, like, the rabid, nostalgic fandomery. Pokemon, much like Ben, you and I would say things like punk rock or Star Wars. It's a lot of different things to a lot of different people.
Yeah, I mean, now we've got kids like our age raising their kids on. So
Yeah, so because, like, Drix, I don't know about you, but I know plenty of parents that love Pokemon, but they like, self-admittedly, like, I barely played the games, I collected cards, and I watched the show religiously. And, like, that's it, you know?
this is what I do with my children now.
Yeah, I do this with my children. We watch Pokemon. And it's like, holy shit. It really is.
How old is Ash?
It's really broken through that, like, zeitgeist. I mean, right here, Drix, shit. You've got the Pokemon Aardman animation collab right now.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, you've got the Wallace and Gromit people making Pokemon animations.
Yep. Pikachu has reached Mickey Mouse-dom.
I would say so. So, be mad all you want if you're, like, old school fanboy like me, who, like, believes that the games are, like, gospel and, like, that's what everything should be built upon. And I agree broadly with that statement. That's the it doesn't really matter any quote unquote reason or excuse. The games are easy to understand. They're all turn-based. They pretty much center around using your favorite guys to fight.
Yep.
And
nice way to spoon feed an RPG.
Yeah, a super duper spoon feedy RPG. So it's one of those things where, even though it might be the best way in like, quote unquote objectively, Pokemon Go happened.
Yeah. The closest to world peace will ever be was when everyone was out catching.
Pokemon Go happened, and now you're seeing the Pokemon Park Kanto part of the trailer, and this is the first Pokemon outdoor amusement park. So,
woo! Yeah, Disneyland.
Yeah, so Pokemon is way bigger than anything that you might think, bigger than anything that I might think. So, this is just what it is now, and you could love it for what it is, or you could be bitter. And I'm probably just going to choose to think, you know what, Drix? There's an awesome Digimon RPG coming out in a couple months here. And I personally can't wait to sink my teeth into that. Because,
yeah,
for the
gamers, TM.
I know that if Bandai gets the fuck you money that the Pokemon company gets, that's going to just end up going back into V-Pets anyway.
Ooh. Yeah, it's possible.
V-Pets.
Make merch. Sell toys.
Sell toys,
Cartoons,
baby.
Sell toys.
Hey,
very good.
Make sure, Drix and I, we are always proponents of finding your local gaming communities. So, I personally have found a local V-Pet community in my city. So
yes.
make sure that you're always on the lookout for the things that you're into, because you never know what you might discover. I figured out there's a bunch of people who love Tamas and they love Digimon, and they fucking meet every month to go and exchange and trade and battle and all that stuff. So it's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. There is no loneliness epidemic if you have a cool hobby that you share with other people and you go out and just make some new friends. You can even travel places and meet up elsewhere and
you know
meet
what?
new people.
And you know what, guys? We're making fun of Pokemon right now, but listen, Pokemon is a great way to meet new people.
Yeah. Yep. Gotta give it to them.
Yeah, gotta give it to them. You got this whole Pokemon Go stuff. You got this new Pokemon theme park coming out. That's just a bunch of people who love the same thing in one place. Come on now.
Yeah. I might not be the biggest fan, but I would love to check out that theme park.
Yeah, seriously, right? Just to check it out.
I happen to be in Japan soon, and yeah,
seriously.
Would be worth stopping by.
So that's the Pokemon Direct. It was there was some Pokemon Z to A footage. They didn't show a lot. The main thing, video game wise, honestly, was Pokemon Champions, and they were. We won't get to it here in this broadcast, but you're seeing the Pokemon. They're going hard on the mobile, the Pokemon Go, the Pokemon Masters EX, Pokemon just needs to be accessible to everybody, and everybody needs to have their favorite parts of the franchise at their fingertips whenever they want it. So you can't really tether this Pokemon idea to any one thing anymore. And honestly, if that's what you want to do, it's looking like Pal World is going to win the lawsuit. So,
yes.
There's plenty of other fish in the sea. Pokemon is at the point where it's Mickey Mouseified.
Yeah. Love it or hate it.
Love it or hate it. You could choose to love it, you could choose to hate it, or you could choose to ignore it. And I mean, it's one of those things where, will I play the Pokemon Battle Simulator? Yeah, probably, because I like Pokemon battles. My favorite thing about Pokemon died a long time ago, which is contests. So
oh.
Yeah, so that thing's dead and buried in the water. So I don't really have a big stake in anything anymore. My favorites are in my Pokemon home.
Huh. Yeah. All right. Well, I've been kind of itching to get back into Pokemon as well. They've added a lot of characters since last I've played it.
That's the thing. If you can get into Pokemon Unite is really cool. Pokemon Sleep, genuinely an interesting app, and honestly, pound for pound, the best sleep aggregator you can get outside of an Apple product. You've got the Pokemon Go is great. Any part of Pokemon that you end up liking, because Drix is a Dota player, and you know what? Unite appeals to him. Yeah,
it really does. It's a good time.
It's pretty fun, yeah. I gotta jump back on Unite too, because I gotta see if Hoopa's still any good.
Yeah, you know, like any good Pokemon game, play as your favorites.
But that's the Pokemon Direct. It had a lot. It was very dense. Very cool thing to watch if you are a Pokemon fan. As you can see, the trading card game is being showcased right now. And if you want to check out all the Pokemon Z to A coverage, there wasn't a ton of it. The biggest thing was Mega Dragonite and Pokemon Z to A console.
My god, Mega Dragonite.
Yeah, Mega Dragonite.
Nice.
But I think with that, we are going to, before we move to our break, we are going to move to an interesting little story about PlayStation.
Oni des.
Indeed. We're going to swap on over to some Like a Dragon footage. Because that plays well on the PS5. But
Sure does.
we have it here from Reuters, Drix. Here's the headline. U.S. judge rejects Sony settlement over PlayStation game sales.
Oh yeah, I think this was advertised to me. Like, oh, did you buy anything on the PlayStation
right.
Store?
I think it did. I think
Because
it
we're
did.
doing ourselves a class action.
So here it is from the article, quote, a U.S. judge in California has declined to approve a class action settlement with Sony that would have distributed 7.8 million in electronic credits to millions of users of the company's PlayStation video game consoles. Sony has agreed to the settlement to resolve claims that it overcharged for digital games, but the U.S. District Judge Araceli Martinez Olguin in San Francisco said in a ruling on Thursday that the plaintiffs had not convinced her the accord was adequate.
Oh, oops, might have charged you too much. I mean, should always check the prices even if the receipts are digital.
Apparently, they say that no, they can charge you what they want.
Yeah, you know, I'm always pretty careful when making online purchases.
Yeah,
but,
we here at CFM Radio always caution against these online marketplaces.
Yeah, I usually only pick it up if it's, you know, a deal.
Yeah,
and,
steep.
Yeah, deep discounts.
Yeah. Because I will say that is one of the best parts about some of these online stores. Sometimes you'll get like these rare, like harder to find games, like these Atlas games, right? Or like these like little like you don't really find them in the GameStop used section, but they're like $10 at GameStop, $20 at GameStop. You log on to the PlayStation Network, sometimes that game is like $15, $10, $5. Games like Dragon's Crown, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they're out there, and you know, every once in a while, even just like a midweek sale on Steam will get me, you know. Like, oh, gotta pick that up.
Gotta pick that up.
Happens to be payday or whatever.
But here's we're moving into the meat and potatoes of why this ultimately failed. And here it is, quote, reading further, Martinez Olguin described the agreement as a coupon settlement and said those types of deals are generally disfavored. The judge said the consumers who bought the case can file a revised proposal. Michael Buchman, a lead attorney for the plaintiffs, declined to comment. Sony did not immediately respond to a request for a comment, and the plaintiffs, who estimated the class size at more than 4.4 million individuals, sued Sony after its 2019 move to bar retailers such as Best Buy and GameStop from selling so-called digital download codes for digital PlayStation games. And that's really where the crux of everything comes in, Drix. You couldn't get these. That's why it falls into like a coupon, because if you got a PlayStation game code, you either got it from an online retailer, such as like an authorized one, such as GameStop or Sony Direct, or you got it from a publisher or developer, or the third avenue was illicit.
Yeah, some sketchy like, oh, here's a really, really like sketchy, inexpensive CD key that we're
Yeah.
selling on the internet from some website that hasn't existed for more than 10 days.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was one of the, and like they're saying right now, it was like a coupon dispute. So if it's one of those things where you're trying to sue because you can't redeem your coupon, then
Yeah, it sounds like if you really felt ripped off, like you can come back with another lawyer and word it a little differently if you want to. But yeah, coupon ladies, get out the building.
yeah. So it's unfortunate because you hate to see a consumer loss like this. You really do, especially when so many people, 4.4 million individuals, drinks.
Yeah, huh?
But
Could happen.
ultimately, it's like you were saying, it was one of those things where I guess if you I'm not going to say there's any sort of connection, but 7.8 million in electronic credits to 4.4 million individuals. It's about 3 games per person ish.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a rough estimate, just pulling numbers out of a hat kind of deal. But I think I fall more in line with your sentiments. If you really felt ripped off, you could probably come back at this.
Pay some more lawyer fees. Come back with a reworded article and really give them what for and show them your case if you want. But yeah, good luck.
Not this time. But we're going to talk. Our next thing we're going to talk is new releases. But Drakes, we're going to take a break first. What do we got playing?
Right now, I just pulled up a TurboGrafx 16 game called Cyber Dodge. The dodgeball game. This song is called Stadium Court.
Stadium Court. CFM Radio.
CFM Radio.
We'll be back.
そやかなささやき、yeah、揺れたいぜそのどれ閉ざさないでその瞳に隠された器に愛をくれよ、止められないこの想い、明日が来なくても抱きしめたい、折れるほど爪痕は消えない、その香りの眼差し、この愛に溶けてゆく I can't stop loving you. Demons all around us, using their powers to tear us apart, sending out evil spirits to bottle the emotions right here in our heart. Hey man, hey, what you doing? Hey, get back, don't do that. Hey, put that down. Hey, get back. Hey, man, don't do that. I've got a shotgun. Stop letting hurts. Stop letting hurts. I'll fight back the demons till the day I die. Stop letting hurts. Stop letting hurts. Never believe in the lie. 止められないこの想い、明日が来なくても抱きしめたい、折れるほど爪痕は消えない、止められないこの想い、時が止まっても抱きしめたい、折れるほど爪痕は消えない、止められないこの想い、明日が来なくても
CFM Radio, we are back.
We are back and live as always. That was from the Resident Evil series. The first one in Japan, it's called Biohazard. You may have noticed Fumitaka Fujigami singing his song Icy Gaze in Japanese, but here in the States, we know that one as I Got a Shotgun.
I got a shotty
Yep. Sweet sample in the middle of that.
from Biohazard. That's that first Resident Evil game. That game was so awesome, especially if you play it on the GameCube.
Oh yeah, the first of many reboots and remasters.
Yeah, huh? Damn, they've been doing that for a long time.
I feel like that one started it. Like before
Yeah.
Skyrim got updated, you know, there was Resident Evil.
Yeah, director's cut,
The
and
every
then remake,
console game.
and then remake again. Like,
Yeah, bring it.
and we are going into new game releases. But before we do, make sure that you're giving us a like and a subscribe, and be sure to leave a comment. We want to hear from you guys. Come on, don't leave us sleeping.
Yeah. Roll call. Hit that thumbs up if you're with us.
Absolutely. And make sure you're hitting subscribe and clicking the ringy bingy bell.
Yep, we'll have some more review cuts coming up for you.
But now we go to new games, and first up we have Killing Floor 3.
Oh yeah, it's gonna get violent. Bloody.
From the Steam page, quote, "It's 2091, and Megacorp Horsey has produced the ultimate army, an obedient horde of bioengineered monsters called Zeds. Now, join the rebel group Nightfall in this co-op action horror FPS that puts you and your teammates in a battle for the future of humanity. Killing Floor 3 releases tomorrow, July 24th, for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles." And Drix, this one looks pretty wild. These Killing Floor games are pretty tough.
Yeah, get your squad together and get to killing.
Next up, we've got... this one's a long one. It is No Sleep for Kaname Date.
Yes,
from AI, the Somnium Files. And we are going to take this one from the eShop page. Quote, Iris, the internet idol, has been abducted by aliens? Finding herself on board a mysterious UFO and tasked with completing a bizarre space game, Iris knows there's one person who she can always count on for help. Kaname Date, Sinker. As Date, conduct investigations, solve escape game puzzles, and sink into the dreams of potential suspects to help Iris escape and unravel the mystery behind the Third Eye game.
Wow. Yeah, that's almost as deep as the title. Probably for fans of escape rooms, and seems like kind of a modern take on a point-and-click adventure.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is some sort of one of them visual novels.
Yeah, you'll probably do a bit
light
more
gameplay.
Yeah, except you're investigating and also escaping.
Indeed. And that is, the game comes out for PC, Switch, and Switch 2 this Friday, July 25th.
Yes, get your anime point-and-click visual novel escape game on.
And finally, we've got another big budget game straight out of China. It is Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers.
Yes, this one is for all the Souls-like fans out there.
From the Steam page, quote, Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers is a Souls-like action RPG in the land of Shu during the dark and tumultuous late Ming Dynasty, plagued with warring factions and a mysterious illness spawning monstrous creatures.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. And historical, too.
And Drix, you like the sound of that because Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers releases today, July 23rd, for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series consoles.
Yeah, no, I'm loving the sort of cinematography going on in this trailer right now. It's very emotionally gripping between hard-locked action sequences.
Indeed. Hey, you know what? These games end up being these big budget Chinese games end up being very immersive, right? People loved Wukong. People thought that game was incredible, and it sold like crazy. So
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
Wu
mean,
Chang, it looks pretty good, you know.
Who doesn't love a good like Chinese big budget martial arts fantasy on borderline sci-fi visual effects thrill ride? I've seen a handful of those. Very good. Good times.
And right, that is Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers. Looks like it says right there it is the 24th, but if you check online, it is actually out right now.
Right now.
And we are going to go to our break, but before we do, quickly, we are going to put up some Mario Kart footage because we have a small story about, because here's the thing. I think that when people think about actively played games, they think about how many people are playing it on average. And most content creators, and even some game journalism outlets such as PC Gamer, will point to Steam charts. And because this website, it shows the approximate aggregate of the active players on Steam, on the Steam client, playing specific games. And it even averages it out, showing, the quote-unquote life of a game, right?
Yeah. It's just an easy graphic to go grab, head over to steam.com. How many people are playing this?
Right, exactly. You know what? I'll put up Wild Gate because this is probably a more appropriate game to talk about this because Wild Gate just came out, and I bet you if you were to look over at Steam charts, you could come to all sorts of conclusions, right?
Yeah, but I'm going to be playing it on a console, though.
And that's what we are going to be talking about right now because one developer, Drix, they talked to Push Square, and they said that this Steam charts thing, this isn't exactly indicative of the life of the game.
Yeah, you got to see everything from all angles, new perspectives.
The headline is, quote,
consoles included.
Yes, because the headline is, quote, everyone focuses on Steam concurrence, but PS5 is by far our biggest community. Test Drive Unlimited Dev hits back.
Yeah, I mean, that's from the developer's mouth. I mean, you can, clock your Steam concurrent players till the cows come home, but at least for Test Drive Unlimited, their biggest audience is on PS5.
From the article, quote, publisher Nacon has hit back at the idea that this data is representative of a game's overall success, noting that for Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, the vast majority of its players are on PS5. Reading further, Nacon's Sebastian Waxon told us as part of a developer Q&A, quote, a lot of players are watching Steam concurrent numbers because they're the only statistics available. But the Steam community for Test Drive Unlimited is not the biggest, and the difference can be very big between PS5, which is the most active platform for our game. So we know people are looking at Steam because it's the only numbers available. But trust me, it's not representative at all. Unquote.
Oh, yep. Check the corners.
Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown had a peak player count of 5,305 concurrents on Steam, but we obviously don't know how many people have been playing on PS5 because Sony doesn't surface that information. This is perhaps the first time we've actively seen a developer come out and explain that its game is performing better elsewhere, because it's often assumed that if a title is underperforming on Steam, it must be doing so on all platforms. Waxon is disputing that in this statement. That was from the article. And this article then goes on to show a roadmap for years of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown content that is yet to come.
Yeah, I mean, we count everybody, We can't just count the members of the PC Master Race.
Yeah, I whenever people tell me that they bank on the Steam numbers, I always have to point people to World of Warcraft, because while it might be a strange metric to compare it to, you have to remember that World of Warcraft, when it first came out and all the way up until the end of Wrath of the Lich King expansion, their subscription account, their numbers for their subscriptions were public.
Yeah. Huh.
Then they started falling off. Yeah.
now we're gonna hide these numbers under the rug.
We're just gonna sweep those numbers, and for a long time they didn't reveal them. So you can take whatever data that you might be able to scrape, but it's me and Drix, we're playing this game Wildgate on a PS5.
Yeah, so don't count out the console comrades.
Nope, because PS5 and now Switch 2, these are some of the best-selling consoles of all time.
Yeah, oh yeah, especially that Switch 2 with all the horsepower it's got under the hood. You better believe some people are playing your favorite games on that bad boy.
Absolutely, but we have an interesting chat to talk about next for our for the finale of the show. But for now, we're going to jam out. Drix, what have you got for us?
Right now, we're listening to Bomberman World on the PS1, Area 4, Planet Ocean, Aqua Bomber.
Area 4, Planet Ocean, Aqua Bomber, CFM Radio.
CFM Radio.
We'll be back.
CFM Radio. Clusterfucked.
CFM Radio is back.
Oh yeah, that lovely little power ballad anthem that we heard was from the PlayStation 1, a game called Vanguard Bandic. The song is called Together because I wanted to play something in English.
Because it was awesome. Vanguard Bandit. You know what? I gotta check that game out. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, no, there's a couple good like vocal tracks on it, so I would love to hear those in context with the game.
Yeah, right? Dang, I gotta check that out.
And right now, an NES classic from the game Batman. This is Streets of Gotham.
Ah, yes. I mean, truly an NES classic. But you know what, Drix? I think we have to take a moment for the classics because we are going to talk about, and I think this might be hopefully, one of the last times that we really talk about Xbox and their effect on the greater industry.
Oh yeah, no, they're on a good streak right about now. Not a
Yeah.
lot of huge Microsoft and/or Xbox fans nowadays. Everybody's got some kind of gripe, some beef with them. Some game they wanted that they canceled.
Absolutely, and we are going to be talking about an interesting video that I'm linking in the chat right now. That video is from a channel called The Game Business, and it has a title called There Is No Going Back for the Video Game Industry, which has former Square executive and CEO of GenVid, Jacob Novak, talking about industry changes, Xbox layoffs, and the new demographic the industry focuses on in an interview that definitely, when you hear it, it kind of changes your perspective on things.
Oh yeah, the gaming industry, the old girl ain't what she used to be.
No, she's not. And as he says it pretty succinctly in this review, or in this, I guess, retrospective, really, that the industry that greenlit Perfect Dark just simply doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Oh, you mean the one that got canceled? The one that got showcased in the last like 6 to 9 months?
Yeah. So
Not even a year ago.
One of the things that stuck out to me, one of the main things, I guess I should say, because there was a lot that stuck out, but one of the main things that stuck out to me was when this guy said that he was explaining how the business changed in that where we used to sell you a product and then you would buy it and then come back maybe 2 years later and get the next product. And
Yeah.
that,
If you liked Final Fantasy VII, you probably bought 8 and 9.
right, exactly, at one after another. And then as the interview goes on, you really pick up other pieces that really breadcrumb you to honestly have the epiphany of, yeah, we really aren't going back, because, you know, he goes on later to talk about having lunch with a former PlayStation executive who said, you know, we used to sell you a box that you put your games in. Now we have to sell you a box that's also your retailer
Oh boy.
and your online
Yeah.
platform.
Yep, your Roku you're going to stream from now.
Yeah. So,
Ugh.
a very interesting, an eye-opening interview for anybody who's really interested in why or how something like Perfect Dark that you're seeing on the screen right now gets shafted so hard. Because like we were saying on CFM Radio last week, this thing that you're seeing for Perfect Dark right now, it wasn't perfect, but it had to be played.
Yeah, it was playable.
Yeah. You had someone had to play this, and yeah, did they have to play it like in the specific way? Sure. But you were still playing a game.
Yeah, most of it was there. Maybe not in its final form, but it was, really close to being a product.
Yeah. So that's one of the main points that I got from it. What about you, Drix? What stuck out to you during that conversation?
Yeah, just kind of like his timeline as of like I said, if you played Final Fantasy VII, you probably bought 8 and 9. Like, I feel like it was cool that you could just put out a product and then focus on the next one instead of, no, we need Fortnite and Roblox to be an entire ecosystem that you're going to have to live in and make future purchases in. He described video games as going the way of like social networks, especially in regards to there not being a lot of winners in the social network space. Like, now you're competing for that attention, and something like TikTok, if people spend 2-3 hours on it a day or on average over a week, then that's time being taken away from people playing video games. And if people are playing video games, that's taking away from time being spent on Netflix or Hulu, so there's not a lot of room for winners anymore. There's just too many things out there.
Yeah, the big takeaway is that your attention as an individual is so important for the for anything like what you're seeing on the screen right now to even get across it could be this far, right? And it just won't get across the finish line because at the 11th hour, people are like, listen, are people really gonna fucking sit down and play this game for fucking 8 hours?
Yeah, and I mean, it explains kind of the live service rush that's been going around lately, because it doesn't bode well for, I'm just going to play this single player game by myself, not purchase any microtransactions and feed it more of my money beyond the initial purchase it price,
Yeah,
So.
because he was saying like there will be those games, right? And it's funny because he kind of equated it to still trying to capture that theater going audience because he employed a lot of strong anecdotes in this conversation, and one of them was that he went and he saw Superman, he saw it in the theater, you know what I mean? Like, so there's still room for these things. Like he said, Final Fantasy 16 came out, there's going to be a Final Fantasy 17, right? So these things will be in the ecosystem. They're just not going to be the marquee pieces of the industry. They're not going to be what the pillars that hold it up. Because the other thing that he was saying, as it was also a strong anecdote, was his son and his friends interfacing with technology in completely different ways. They've abandoned the controller, they've abandoned the TV remote. It's all touchscreen. He's in this interview. He says, my kid, he tries to swipe on the TV and he gets agitated when the TV doesn't react to his swipe.
Yeah, that's a sign of the times.
And I can't help but empathize, because it's one of those. Later on in the same interview, he goes on to say that, when you get down to brass tacks, these like TikTok and Instagram reels and all these short form content ideas and algorithmic feedback loops, they end up kind of being like WarioWare, where you're moving through a bunch of really short things. You're either hanging on to it for the entirety of its length and sticking with it, or you're looking at it for 5 to 10 seconds and moving on.
Yeah, And if it's free, you are the product. You and the data you generate, that is.
That is exactly what we here at CFM Radio always want to remind you of. Unless you are paying for something, unless it is something, even certain premium services as well, though, be very mindful of what you're paying for. Because most of the time, if you are not paying for a product, or you are just engaging with a free product that a bunch of people can also engage with simultaneously, you are the product.
Yeah, even Pokemon Go is
Yes.
making nice little deals with your geo data that you're giving it too.
Yes, never forget Pokemon Go's geodata backend. They purposely put Pokemon gyms in areas that are underexplored and under surveilled, so that more people will be attracted to that area and they can get more geolocation from it.
Yeah. So do with that information what you will. Enjoy hucking balls out there.
Yeah, and that's also why we here at CFM Radio would like to always remind you to play more video games. Don't.
Yeah, retro ones especially.
It will not. At this point, it doesn't even really matter if it's a phone game. If you're playing a game, you are not engaging with these other mediums and platforms that simulate
Watchful entities.
that simulate gaming as opposed to giving you an actual game. So if
Yeah.
you love video games and you want to continue playing video games, I won't even say into the future. I'll say as you know them.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you're buying the things that you really want to buy.
Yeah. I know I keep a library of Genesis and Super Nintendo in my pocket at all times in case
Yeah.
I'm ever stuck in a queue in line waiting
Tricks,
for
you can't
something.
talk about any of those retro handhelds anymore. You're going to get arrested.
Yeah. No, apparently that's on the forefront of the FBI's mind.
Yeah. No more of that.
Yes.
But
Big Papa Nintendo shooting me the cease and desist.
seriously. But with that, I do believe that we will finish things off here at CFM Radio and just say, listen, the times are changing. But our message here at CFM Radio will always remain consistent. Buy the things that you like in a physical media format that you can store for later. Be sure to protect all your data and make sure that whenever you utilize something that's free, you know where your information is going. Because guess what? You might think that, oh my God, pessimism gets the best of me. What am I worth? Well, you know what, buddy? You would be surprised.
Yeah. You'd be surprised what lies in wait in the terms and conditions, how valuable your time and attention and therefore data is to these corporate entities and the like.
That's why we say play yourself some games, grab yourself. It doesn't matter if you play a single player game or a live service with friends. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Grab yourself a game. And if you realize that you and your friends you're sitting there scrolling TikTok and you've been doing it for a half hour, it's probably safe to say that your friends might be doing it too. So message them on Discord and say, hey, let's play some Jackbox.
Yes. Go out there and join your local trading card groups,
Yes.
tabletop, role-playing or otherwise tables. They're
Yes.
places that would welcome you, new players and players of all skill levels.
Yes.
I got my pinball fandom, which you don't have to sign in, but, we like to know what our high scores were.
And make sure that, especially if you're into these tabletop games, these local game stores, they are hurting these days. They would love for you to come in and just really just pay $20 and play some D&D for all night.
Yeah, get a group going. I'm sure somebody can DM for you, has played RPGs previously and knows how these things work and can throw out things they don't like.
But as usual, thank you for joining us here. Make sure you're giving us a like and subscribe. Make sure you're leaving us a comment and ring that bell so you know when we go live.
Yes, absolutely. And till next Wednesday, my dudes, we'll be back as we are Wednesday nights, 30 Pacific time PM, with video game music and is keeping you in and entertained.
Thank you.